up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we're reviewing M3GAN. This one came out today and was directed by Jared Johnstone and stars Allison Williams and Violet McGraw. Now, before we start, just like and subscribe, post notification post so you know for every video. And let's just start. Let's start talking about the good. So, Allison Williams is great in the film. She is very, very good in this film. The rest of the characters I'll get to later, but Allison Williams in particular is very, very good at playing the role of the aunt. The opening sequence I thought was good, especially a car crash killing the main character's parents. The little girl kills her parents, and of course that's how she becomes orphaned, and that was the main setup for the way the little girl is in the entire film. The cinematography, which was the shots, camera angles, the lighting, I thought it was good. It looks well done. I could see everything that was happening. It's not necessarily a film that needs to look pristine and all of that, but this film definitely looks better than I thought it would. The first of the film was okay. It sets up the characters well enough. I cared about Allison Williams' character. The other characters, not so much, but some of them were interesting, and I just thought overall it set up the tone well. The actual M3GAN doll, she is terrifying. This is possibly one of the creepiest designs for any doll in any horror film that I've ever seen. M3GAN is very unique, and M3GAN is definitely going to be one of the newest horror icons, definitely up there with Chucky. And even though Chucky is praised as the greatest horror doll of all time, of course, but just like Annabelle, I think that M3GAN is very, very creepy and very different from Annabelle. She sort of balances Chucky's humor with Annabelle's creepiness. That's M3GAN. That's basically what M3GAN is, and it works fantastic. There's a good enough relationship between Gemma and Katie, played by Violet McGraw, and Gemma's played by Allison Williams. A good enough relationship. She's obviously caring for Gemma, and for Katie, and Katie does not like her, and it's sort of this weird relationship that they have in this film, which does get resolved by the end. But I thought it was well enough. The segments of the film I thought was good. It progresses the story well enough. It wasn't great. There was a few pacing issues in that second act, but overall I thought it was good. I was entertained throughout that second act. There are also some great jump scares. The jump scares in this film did get me, and jump scares don't usually scare me afterwards, other than James Wan's jump scares. But the jump scares in this film were not bad. M3GAN is creepy already, so from the get-go you have M3GAN the doll, who's terrifying already. When you add jump scares in there, it adds another level of tension, which this film does have some tension in it, which I enjoyed. Mainly in the second act does it really progress and have that tension. But overall, I thought there were some great jump scares in this film. There were also many brutal and terrifying sequences, mainly with M3GAN four-legged running, which you saw in the trailer, but when you see it on the big screen, it is terrifying. And her attacking and killing people, she does murder people in this film in different ways. Mainly, she sometimes uses her AI to sort of kill people, and she also uses different methods. It was very, very off-putting and very creepy. And this is PG-13, but there was definitely an R-rated cut for this film because they did cut down a lot of the gore for this film, which I think it works to M3GAN's advantage because the PG-13 really makes you think about what would have happened in that situation and makes the audience sort of thinking about what they think would happen. So I thought it worked very well. There are also many hilarious sequences, mainly with M3GAN. M3GAN, while she is terrifying in this film, she is also very, very funny. This film is a horror comedy. I thought it was just a straight-up horror film until I saw the scene of her dancing, and it just turned into a horror comedy. And I thought it balances those two aspects very, very well. It knows when to place the humor in this film and not take away from the horror aspects and elements of this film. So the comedy I thought was placed very well. The third to the film I thought it was very tense and very fun. You have M3GAN versus Gemma, and then Bruce, which is the new AI. He fights M3GAN. It's a weird and crazy third act, but I think it works with the use of the technology and the AI that they use in that third act. The score by Anthony B. Willis is great. I really, really enjoyed the score. It's very haunting. It sort of has that Scream kind of score, that Marco Beltrami kind of score going for it, and I thought it worked and fit M3GAN's character very well. The ending sequence I thought it was good. It's basically M3GAN is destroyed and a mini AI ends up becoming alive and obviously setting up for a sequel. So I thought the ending sequence was good enough. That's all the good that I have now. Let's move on to the bad. So all the actors in action, so I thought they were terrible, including Violet McGraw, played by Katie. She has no redeeming qualities. She's very spoiled, and she's very violent. She ends up hitting Gemma, slapping her in the face, and it's sort of off-putting because we're supposed to be caring for that character, but in this film, I did not care about her at all. She was just a terrible, terrible child. There are also some boring sequences in this film, mainly in the second act. It does progress okay, but I was really waiting for something to happen, but it never did until that third act of the film. And the creation scene of M3GAN, I thought it was okay. It was not as good as Chucky's creation scene. Chucky's creation scene is one of the greatest creation scenes of a doll in a film because it sort of made it creepy with the score and it showed them building the animatronic. This film doesn't have that. It's really quick and I didn't really think it was all that good. That's about it. M3GAN is a simple but better than expected horror film and I recommend it, and I'm going to give M3GAN a B-. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like button, subscribe, post notification bell so you know for a video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.